Jedi are taking over!
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, I'm Stephen John McLaughlin, and the other co-host will appear on the screen now. There he is.
Guten Abend.
It's the man who's
Guten
always
Nacht.
here, 5 days a week, sometimes 7 when we do trailer reactions. It's John C. Walsh. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I watched
Wonderful.
last night's show. Very
Wunderbar.
interesting stuff you were talking about. Justice League, etc, etc. And
the reactions, Steve.
yeah, the reactions, John, were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
78% on Rotten Tomatoes now.
Tomatoes. I didn't
Rotten
see that coming.
Tomatoes,
I did not
yes.
see that coming, I'll be honest with you, John. But I'm very happy for Zack Snyder
Yes.
and all concerned. I think he's earned it. I think he's due
I
it as
think
well.
we ought to start speaking like this from now on,
Yes,
because
I
we got a
think-
comment on one of our videos earlier on today
Yes, we did.
suggesting that the person couldn't understand a word we were saying, and this was a
Yes.
reaction video from 2 years ago, so I'm going to start speaking like this, Stephen, like a little posh aristocratic person from down south in England.
Okay,
just speak
that was
like
my
this from
Prince
now on.
Charles impression there.
Yes, Prince Charles,
I'm not
yes.
constipated, I promise you. But John, we're talking about Justice League once more, and that is of course our headline and our thumbnail.
Yes.
And it's a Justice League producer. It's Deborah Snyder, Zack's missus, or indoors, as they say down in London. Justice League producer explains why sequel discussion can wait. You can't say that now, can't you? Know, or indoors. It's not politically correct, is it?
No.
In this day and age with the cancel culture and all that kind of thing, you know. As
We've
if-
got nothing to lose, Stephen.
No, exactly.
Can't cancel you when you've got nothing to lose.
I was quoting Arthur Daly from Minder, so sue me. Anyway, John,
Yes.
this is coming in from Screen Rant, and the final verdict on the Snyder Cut isn't in yet, but early reviews are reasonably positive, sparking new speculation over the possibility of a sequel. While such talk is understandable, Deborah Snyder, producer on Justice League
I think
and
there should
wife
be a
of Zack
sequel.
Snyder, explained why now isn't the right time to be discussing sequel plans in an exclusive interview with Screen Rant. And this is what she had to say. I mean, I think for right now it's been such a journey and a lot of work to get there. Even when they said yes, actually pulling it off and getting it made and doing it during the pandemic, which is all
Yep.
remote and having so many visual effects shots, we've had our heads down just getting it to the point of where we are now. I think we are thinking about now is just enjoying this moment and everyone's hard work to get something impossible actually be possible here. Listen, I will always have a passion for these characters, but I think right now my head's just trying to wrap itself around the fact that we actually are here today. Couldn't agree more, John. I think studios always think ahead anyway. As soon as the early reviews are in, I should say, that's when they start thinking, how can we make more money? You
Yes.
know? Naturally, that's what they do. That's how they run. That's how they survive. But she is right. You know, it's a lot of hard work has went into this. It's been an emotional.
Got to wallow in it.
Yeah, it's been an emotional time
Enjoy
as
it.
well for the Snyder family, because they're always going to have that connection with the original Justice League's release and the tragedies surrounding why they had to step away from it to begin with. So this would have been a very emotional, possibly therapeutic as well, I would say, for
Zack.
both of them, Deborah and Zack.
Exactly.
You know, and I think the early reviews are they are reasonably positive, John.
Yeah, what is your
and-
thoughts on that, Stephen? What is your thoughts on the early response? Because you weren't here yesterday to speak about it. There was no movie news of note, so I spoke about the Justice League. It's not out today. I thought it was. It's out early hours of tomorrow. It's out later on today in
Yeah.
America, I do believe. Very positive early reviews. A couple of bad apples in there, as you expect. People try to make a name for themselves. Shock jocks, as we
Yeah.
call them. In the main, positive though. People praising it. As I did say, highest rating he's got on Rotten Tomatoes for a DC movie, possibly one of his movies, period. We both like Zack Snyder. We both love Dawn of the Dead and some of his other non-DC movies. So what's your thoughts on that, Stephen? Is this going to shape your expectations going into this movie?
Yeah.
Because before, I assume you were like me, not expecting much, just hoping for the best, that it could be slightly better than Whedon, and that it would be a passion project and we'd see these characters being unearthed and expanded out a little bit better than what we got in the 2017 movie. But now with this response,
I think
it's got my expectations up a little bit.
I think, John, that because I only saw the Justice League, the 2017 version once, it's kind of been erased from my memory anyway. So I'm going to begin into this with fresh eyes. There's standout moments in that version, you can't deny it. There is some good moments in there, but just not enough. But I think I'll begin into this with fresh eyes. It's almost double the running time as well of that cinematic release from 4 years ago, which is going to be good as well, which means we're going to get fleshed out characters this time. When they plan to do a Justice League so early on in the building of this universe, which we all thought was a strange move, they should never have limited it to a 2-hour movie.
No.
Not for these characters are some of the biggest, if not the biggest comic book characters around. Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, yeah. And I think I'm very happy for Zack Snyder more than anything, John. And I don't think he's a type of guy that's going to be rubbing people up the wrong way if it is a success, and it looks like it is going to be a success. I don't think that's in his nature at all. I don't think he's a I told you so type of a guy. I don't think he's going to be...
I think Ray Fisher is, though.
Well, that's... yeah.
I think he's going to enjoy kicking the boot right into Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon and the guy.
When this inevitably is highly successful with critics and fans alike. Stephen, I'm looking forward to it, but I do agree with Deborah Snyder. It is Deborah Snyder, isn't it? I'll look at myself and get you a little break, Stephen. You've been on the screen since the show started. I'll let you have a little drink and do whatever you've got to do. I do agree with her, despite looking my expectations and what I think this is going to be ultimately, and what it has the potential to expand and do for the DCEU. I think she's right. This isn't the time to be speaking about a sequel. We've not even seen this Snyder Cut version of the movie yet. The time just now is to enjoy it for the people who have been involved in this. And she does say it was an extraordinary circumstance they found themselves in the post of this movie. It was during a pandemic. They couldn't get together to do the visual effects work and stuff like that. And what they've accomplished, by the looks of it from the trailers, is truly awe-inspiring. They've managed to put together a big blockbuster movie from their homes. And that's alright when you're doing Space Jam 2, but it ain't alright when you're doing Justice League. So it looks very impressive. Now's the time for them to celebrate, hopefully, with success. Some champagne. Stephen, I'm still hoping this movie comes out in the theatres over here. I think it should come out in the theatres over here. Zach's hoping it's coming out in the theatres as well. He was speaking about it a couple of weeks back. He's hoping the black and white version gets an IMAX release. The theatres are going to be opening up in the next month and a half over here. We know it's coming out in Sky Premiere. Most people won't get Sky over here. Well, maybe they have, I don't know. To make money and make this a success and perhaps reboot the DCEU in a soft manner, I think they have to. The best way to do that is to put it out in the theatres, get bums in the seat. Post-pandemic, hopefully, there's a rush to get back to the theatres and enjoy good movies. If this gets a good buzz from fans and critics alike, and it's already done that with the critics by the looks of it, the best way to capitalise on that buzz is to get it out in the theatres. Then, if it's a success and they make some money back, then they can start speaking about sequels, start speaking about a second stint as the sort of helming figure in the DCEU for Zack Snyder. Maybe 2 more Justice League movies, maybe having a sway on these characters. Stephen, they're already setting up, man. We've got the Batman, Matt Reeves. We've got a 3 different versions of Batman now with Flashpoint. We've got multiple versions of characters. They're setting it up now that different directors are involved in different projects. We can have Matt Reeves doing his Batman, and Zack can easily take over from Batflick and do his stuff. So I hope they do it. It's not a time to speak about it, but it will be soon.
That's the thing, isn't it? And it's going to be very interesting over the next couple of years as well, where they're going to take the sort of main ones, because Patty Jenkins is already confirmed after she does a 3rd Wonder Woman movie. That's her done and dusted with the DCEU, which kind of suggests to me that perhaps maybe Gal Gadot may be done with the character as well at that point. Who knows? Ben Affleck's already moved back and moved on again. Henry Cavill's very much the same. Justice League 2 doesn't necessarily have to have these characters in it anyway. You know,
they can make different versions.
Recast exactly. They can recast, or they just don't include. You know, it really depends where they go with the other films,
Yeah.
you know, in their franchise, and how well they do as well. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Justice League 2 anytime soon, John.
Well, Stephen,
I don't think it'll be within the next 10 years.
Well, you've got the J.J. Abrams rumour as well that he's doing a new Spider-Man, Superman
Superman,
movie,
yeah.
and it ain't going to be Henry Cavill, so
No.
maybe it won't happen. Jack did say he's not getting his hopes up. He's just happy to get his vision out for this movie,
That's
right
it.
the
It's
wrongs.
enough. Yeah.
This will begin to make things right, as the great Max von Sydow says. Los Santeca from The Force Awakens. It didn't begin to make things right there. It made things very wrong, because Ryan Johnson came in and shat all over the top of Los Santeca's hopes and dreams after Kylo cut him down. You're so right. Hopefully it's not the case here. If they do decide to make sequels, hopefully they will come right. We can get Henry Cavill back. We can get Gal Gadot continuing on in some intermittent fashion. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell, John, but we're going to stay on Justice League just now anyway, in terms of its HBO Max release, and to accompany the release is a documentary, and it's Zack Snyder's Justice League documentary releases with movie on HBO Max. This coming in from Screen Ranty, and and now, John, we were going to show an image on this, but I think it's been pulled, so I think the behind the scenes cameraman Simon Fitch, who revealed this, I think he's probably had his collar felt, because he revealed that not only will Zack Snyder's Justice League be available on HBO Max from March 18th, but also a making of documentary. Fitch, who was on set for the original shoot, posted the news on his Instagram account, confirming the 30-minute documentary contains never before scenes footage, along with an interview with Snyder. And it was on.
There you go. There's a great graphic you put up confirming it.
Yeah, so it's confirmed that it's official, as you can see. But the news should keep Snyder's colossal fan base happy. Now, John, I think any kind of bonus features, extras, behind the scenes stuff, I love anyway. You love it as well. I loved all that. One of the best things about Star Wars prequels back in the early 2000s was all the extra DVD stuff. The second disc, as you like to call it.
What was your man who took over from, what was he called, Steve? I'm trying to blanking on his name
Rick
completely.
McCallum, are we talking about the producer?
No, the great sort of matte painter from the early days.
Ralph McQuarrie.
Some Asian American guy took over, doing the concept work and the matte paintings. Yeah. And he was heavily involved in the prequels. And the behind the scenes flying the world documentary.
I think he was involved in The Mandalorian as well.
Yeah, he's a great artist,
and
fantastic. His input into those documentaries was phenomenal.
Well, that's what I hope to see.
Actually, follow him on Twitter.
Doug Chang.
Doug something like that. Yeah.
John, I think that's what I want to see in this documentary. I want to see all those what do you call them, the paintings and stuff like that.
Matte paintings and concept work. Storyboarding.
Yeah, I love all that stuff, because that's the original. That's the sort of original idea, and its first sort of
infancy.
Yes, exactly. You know, and just to see that, and then what it becomes. We saw that great C-3PO painting, the one that Anthony Daniels likes to quote.
To me.
Yeah, it's a fantastic painting though, John. It looks nothing like C-3PO the way we know him, but you know it's him.
It didn't have Daniel's dome in it.
No, it didn't. No. It didn't have that pompous voice either. But John, what's your views on this? I mean, is this something that interests you? Is this something you will be tuning into as well?
Absolutely, Stephen. If we can get my hands on it, if it's not on Sky Premiere, because I'm loath to give Rupert any more money. I give him £60 a month, and I think that's more than enough. But if it makes an appearance, I'll absolutely watch it after I've watched the movie, because it's great to see the expert analysis on what happened in the production, the pre-production, the post-production, how they put this movie together. And with this movie in particular, Stephen, because this was a disaster of a movie, obviously Zach had to move away for personal reasons. Josh Whedon came in.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, I don't think they'll show us it, that'll probably be made as an adaptation to a sort of biopic movie in 20 years time, like we're getting with The Godfather, like we got with Citizen Kane, the Mank movie from Fincher and Oldman, if I can speak. Old Man. It'll end up getting adapted 20 years in the future. Just what happened. Yeah. What was the issue between Zach and the studio heads? If there was an issue.
I don't think they're going to go there, John.
No, they'll not get that in the documentary, but it'd be cool to see, Stephen, the storyboard and
the flying the wall stuff.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. We're getting it with Marvel.
I think as well, John, the thing that's going to interest me is the filming that he was doing, Zack Snyder, that is,
On the fly.
was doing on the fly.
Yes.
I hope we can see the cameras, and it reminds me. We talk about it. It reminds us that double fantasy thing with Jack Douglas and John Lennon.
Yeah, we get Milk and Honey from it.
We got Milk and Honey, the album, because John Lennon didn't know they were recording all the sort of rehearsals for the songs that didn't make it onto double fantasy. Thankfully, Jack Douglas, the smart man he is, canned it all and kept it by.
I would love an Office style documentary where Zach's talking to the camera and explaining to them. They think they're getting me to cut this down to 2 hours long. They think that I'm doing this and that, but they're dancing to their whims.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own movie in the sly, watching it falls, I'm doing the scenes, and then getting back and forth between the studio. That's what I want to see. It's not what we're going to get, but I'm sure what we'll get will be pretty damn good. Nonetheless, we'll get an insight into this movie's production, how he works, how he operates.
Zack Snyder investigates
shit, how the post worked remotely. Hopefully we get to see that, how they liaised these teams and made this movie happen. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I like these documentaries. I've always enjoyed them. The process of how movies are made. I spoke about it a couple of weeks back with Marvel. They're doing behind the scenes, fly in the wall documentaries for all their TV shows. Hopefully Black Widow and movies. It's going on Disney Plus, free of charge. Warner Brothers, learn from that. Please give us some stuff free of charge. Well, it's not free of charge. You're paying the subscription, but it's pretty much free. £50 a year. Come on, that's free to me. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the Marvel stuff. I love this stuff. I will eat this up.
It's a great time, isn't it, John, to be alive?
It's a great time to be alive, yes.
We're talking about the Russo brothers next, John. This is away from Marvel, though, and it's coming in from Screen Rant. It's the Grey Man movie, filming start marked by Russo brothers Clapboard image. That's not great news, but it gets us talking. It's
great news, Stephen, for this
the
movie,
Grey Man, John, because we've not really talked about it too much, and
it sounds like a very, very promising movie.
I'll just read a little bit of the synopsis here, John, just for anyone that's not familiar with it. I wasn't till recently. The film is based on the novel of the same name by Mark Greene, released in 2009. The story follows a CIA operative named Court Gentry, who is betrayed by the agency and becomes a fugitive. It's just under the actual Russo brothers picture, John, at the top.
Right up the top, sorry.
And becomes a fugitive. Lloyd Hansen, a former friend of Gentry's, is sent after him. Ryan Gosling will star as Gentry, with Chris Evans as Lloyd Hansen. So it's going to be a real cat and mouse game, John.
Love these kind of movies.
So The Grey Man will be the director's second post-MCU project, and after a few COVID-related delays, the film has finally started production. The Russo brothers posted a picture of a clapboard for the film with the caption "Day One." The cast was tagged in the picture alongside Netflix, which is set to debut the film once it's ready to go, likely sometime in 2022, John. I can't wait to see this film. Because it's the Russos, but because of the cast as well. It's a fantastic cast, and the fact that it's based on this very interesting story as well. Yeah,
I'm furiously searching up The Fugitive there, Stephen, to make my connection with The Fugitive. Yes, the actual names I'm speaking. I knew Samuel Gerard, but I was trying to find out Richard Kimball's name.
Yeah, Richard.
The great Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. It reminds me of that, Stephen. And this is what I'm hoping we're getting in Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Friday too. A fugitive style story on the run. I love it. These kind of movies. It's always nice. You've got that cat and mouse chase. You've got the thriller aspect. You're on tenterhooks watching this character. That will only happen if you've got a real connection to the story. And we had that in The Fugitive with him being wrongfully framed for the murder of his wife. It was Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford. Great actor. At his absolute peak in the 90s, doing that kind of movie. I connected with the character, I connected with the story. That's why the thriller aspects, him getting in and putting himself in danger, you were with that character, living vicariously. I want to see that with this movie.
Yeah.
With these two actors, these great actors.
Looking at it from the studio's point of view, Netflix.
Yep.
I think they're in this for the long game as well, John. It does say here in this article with a reported $200 million budget, The Grey Man will be the streamer's most expensive film ever made. Clearly, Netflix is quite confident in the directors after their MCU projects, with 10 total books by Greene. The streamer is likely hoping to turn the film into a long-running franchise, and with two of the Hollywood's hottest actors on its centre, that won't come cheap. But
no,
John, if the film's a success, it will not matter, will it?
No.
Luckily, the Russo brothers already have a good track record with Netflix after they produced the 2020 action thriller Extraction, starring another Avenger in Chris Hemsworth. That
was decent. That was a decent movie, Stephen. It wasn't mind-blowing. They've done Cherry with Tom Holland as well. I've seen bits and bobs of that. That looks decent. Tom's a great actor. He's great at doing those different little things from Spider-Man. Stephen, if you're going to spend $200 million on a movie, and it's going to be your most expensive project to date, and they're raking the money in, they've put the prices up.
Yeah.
You do it for the Russos, you do it for Chris Evans, you do it for Ryan Gosling. It is Ryan Gosling, isn't it? It ain't Reynolds, I keep thinking it's Reynolds.
Gosling, yeah.
Gosling. So, 2 high calibre A-list actors, high calibre, prominent directors. The story's there. It's getting adapted from an award-winning book, I think. So it's an interesting story. It's got the potential to be a franchise expanding out into a greater universe with 2 amazing actors. Whether they continue through is another thing entirely. You could do spin-offs. We got a spin-off of The Fugitive, didn't we? With the actual coppers, Gerard and his team. So there's potential there. They make the investment. What would you call it? I don't know. There's a term for taking a risk with money.
Yeah, it's
gift to receive.
Speculate to accumulate.
Yep. You do that with these actors, you do it with these directors, you'll make the money. Stephen, man, what was it? The Distraction, but the other one with Seven Underground or something with Ryan Reynolds. It wasn't a great movie. It was hugely watched. It brought subscribers in. They need movies like this. They need to be working with people like this, with Disney Plus, gaining day in, day out subscribers. They are in a battle for their lives with Amazon and Disney and that other horrendous one. I've totally blanked on it. Universal. Shit. Yeah. I can't even recall the name of it. It's that bad, but it's Peacock or some shit like that.
Right, okay. Didn't even
remember it. I probably said Peacock because I've got the Peacocks from the X-Files in my brain. I don't know why. I think it is Peacock though.
Imagine them running a studio. Hammer House of Horror.
Oh, Jesus, man. But Stephen, I've got high hopes for this movie. I'm glad it started shooting. And I cannot wait to see the first trailer just to get a vibe of what's going on with these 2 actors.
You kind of like Chris Evans, don't you?
Yeah, he's a great Stephen. The guy's an absolute hero to me, man. Doing weight training and just his political views as well. The guy's an absolute hero to me. I love the guy, man. He's just inspirational. All of those Avengers, man. Downey Jr., Hemsworth, Evans, even Ruffalo, he's in good shape too. Those guys are the sort of apex of what you can achieve with good work ethic, determination, discipline. So yeah, I love the guys, man. So hopefully it's a success for Chris and Ryan, because I like Ryan as well. He's a good dude too. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait, John. But we're going to move on to a little bit of Star Wars news here that's came in. It's just dropped today.
Good news for Mena as well.
And it's Mena Massoud teases Star Wars casting rumours. Aladdin star Mena Massoud's latest social media post sparks rumours that he's been cast as live-action Ezra Bridger in an upcoming Star Wars project. Interesting stuff. Interesting. Massoud is reigniting those speculations thanks to a new Instagram post. And this one is on Instagram and it is on Screen Rant. The actor shared a shirtless image of himself. Well, it doesn't imply anything. It's the caption that's garnering a lot of attention as he used one of Ezra's lines from Star Wars Rebels, as pointed out by Kessel Run's Transmissions. They must be big Star Wars fans, I would guess. But he's just said on the post, "Hey, just so you know, when I escape, I won't hurt any of you." So there you go, John. What's your take on this?
Take it as he's in very good shape, Mena. Yeah. So hats off to him for that. It's not easy to get into that shape. I know that only too well. Slaving my arse off 5 days a week doing weight training. I don't look like that yet, but when I lose the fat and I get the bike, I will look like that. I'm absolutely certain. My take on this is I'm glad for Mena, first and foremost, because he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I liked his performance in Aladdin. That was Guy Ritchie. I don't know how he managed to direct an Aladdin movie, but he did and it worked. Mena was moaning about a year back or so that he was getting no casting calls or whatever you'd call it, no auditions. So he was bemoaning his luck, his lack of springboarding from Aladdin into greater success in Hollywood. This could be a chance for him working on a Star Wars project. This could make or break this guy. If he gives in another good performance after that performance from Aladdin, then this could make him. And playing Ezra Bridger, that would be a great move for that guy, because very prominent character, much beloved from the Star Wars.
Would he be the third actor cast in an animated character that I created one, for Star Wars after
Ashoka Tano with Rosario Dawson,
and also your man Save the Dream.
Yes, Forrest Whitaker. Christ, I'm blanking on his name.
I'm blanking on the name as well, John.
Oh no!
But I don't think there's many made that transition, isn't there? Not. Obviously, he had that bald guy with a white beard. That was the sort of extra in Return of the Jedi on Endor that they created. Rex, I think his name was. But I think that's probably only the third time that's happened. I can't remember his name.
It's haunting me.
Listen, I'll Google that just now. If you want to.
It could be, the third one. And Stephen, hopefully not the last one. Hopefully we get Thrawn. He appeared in Rebels as well. Hopefully he gets cast. We know that Ashoka's on his tail. She's seeking his whereabouts. We're going to get an Ashoka movie. Saw Gerrera,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The great Forrest Whitaker. He was in Panic Room, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fincher.
So it's not like it's not been tried and tested, John. I mean, they've done this before and they've got the casting right. That's the most important thing. So I think
Steve, he's a charismatic actor as well.
Yeah.
He's a good presence.
And
He
as
held
you
his
know,
own.
yeah, well, I think, Ezra's got that kind of cockiness and that charismatic presence and his...
And it'll test him.
Yeah.
It'll test him, Steve,
Yeah.
because he's a troubled character too. He's got some shit going on under the surface. He's not a 2D character by any means.
No.
Filoni doesn't really create characters like that. He creates, interesting, deep characters. So this will test this guy's acting chops. And as I says, it can make or break him. Steve, I'm just looking forward to more good Star Wars content. I says it to you before. I want them to step away from movies completely. The movies have been a disaster under Disney. Even Rogue One, which was a minor success, you could say a great success. It grossed $1 billion plus. It still had a lot of trouble. Gareth Edwards had to step aside. Tony Gilroy.
Yeah.
So they've had a bit of a nightmare with the movies.
There's nothing really been original about them.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Whereas the TV has been really original. So I want to see more TV content. It's longer form, medium. We've seen it with WandaVision. What can be done if it's episodic as well? They need to continue that like they did with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It creates buzz, interest. Get writers in, get high caliber directors in, give them the budget, man. That's the way I want to see Star Wars going now. I'm fed up with Star Wars movies. Give us a decade break.
I don't think we need them, John. That's the thing. I think the story's been told, the Skywalker saga's been told, and I don't think anything out with that is really that interesting that they couldn't replicate on television but do it better. And you're right. I think television allows for time to develop characters. It allows time for the audience to absorb. We saw it with WandaVision, John. There was a lot happening in those half-hour episodes that you needed that week.
Yeah.
If they stagger them, that is, I hope they do. That's the way I think they should be doing it. I think that's the best way because it gives you that time to digest it. It gives you that time to speculate and come up with your own thoughts and what's going to happen next, etc. And that's the way forward.
And Steve, it's better for the filmmakers as well. Finally, you speak about Chris Evans. I was watching him and Scarlett Johansson, actor on actor. They were talking about the benefits of streaming services and TV shows. The difference between that and movies, risk reward. They've not got the box office monkey on their back, so it leads to more originality, more independent thinking, in the TV side of things. And that's why people are drawn to TV now more than movies, probably, because the content's better.
Yeah.
You've not got any drop in actor talent or directing talent. You've got high caliber directors and actors. Phoebe Waller-Bridge doing producing and stuff like that. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover in there. You've got Ewan McGregor. High caliber actors doing TV and doing it well. The Crown, Olivia Colman, Claire, whatever her name is, Foy, Matt Smith. Amazing actors. Charles Dance, I think, was in there as well. Maybe not. Gillian Anderson. Yeah. So you've got Hollywood caliber actors doing TV. So I don't think they need to do movies. I want them to take a break. Get the likes of Mena Massoud into projects. I'm not saying this is TV, incidentally, but let's be honest, man. Ezra is not going to be in a movie anytime soon. He's a TV sort of character, and that's absolutely fine. I want to see more TV. So glad for Mena. Hopefully this is the future for Star Wars. Continuing on this TV journey. I've loved The Mandalorian. I can't wait for Kenobi. I can't wait for Andor. And hopefully we get a Luke Skywalker, Sebastian Stan TV show as well, because I love Sebastian and I want to see, as we say in Glasgow, a Luke Skywalker TV show. That's want for everywhere else. So, yep.
But we'll move on anyway, John, to our final topic. And it's coming in from IndiaGlitz.com, and it's Vijay Sethupathi's next mass movie with superhit director announced. This is only dropped today, John. Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. So it's fresh off the press, and I'm just going to read this little article here, John. There's not much to it, but you can give me your thoughts once I've just
my first thoughts are that photograph is superb. I love the style of it.
Yeah,
very
it's almost like a painting, isn't it?
It is like a painting. Yeah. What is going on with that?
Yeah, I noticed that as well. But,
that was like Call of Duty 3 back in the day, Steve.
That was, it was buzzing there. Makal Selvin, Vijay Sethupathi was the last seen on screen playing the deadly villain Bhavani in Telepathy Vijay's starrer Master, directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj, and next has a number of movies awaiting release, even as his movies like Labam, Kadese, Vivasea, etc. are gearing up for release. The Pan-Indians actor's next Tamil movie has been announced officially. Vijay Sethupathi's 46th movie will be directed by Ponram. Now, there's a great picture.
He's a little
there.
bit behind Telepathy then. He's on to 65.
Yeah,
So he's obviously got a head start. Telepathy. He's probably younger than Telepathy then.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he doesn't look younger.
I was going to say that
Looks
as well.
about 10 years older.
This movie, which is yet to be titled, is produced by top production house Sun Pictures and has music scored by D. Iman. This movie will have cinematography by Dinesh Krishnan and editing by Vivek Harshan. Now, John, there is a tweet there, and we can't play it obviously for copyright purposes, but there is a bit of an announcement there.
46.
We might check that out after we come off air, John, and see if we can maybe react to it or something. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's just maybe an announcement. It's very short. I don't know. But this, drop John. I know we've not seen a lot of Vijay Sethupathi films.
You've seen more than me, Steve.
Yeah, I've seen double.
Yes.
I've seen 2 now. Because obviously I did watch Vikram Vedha last night, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to talk about this film once you've seen it, John. It's one of the best films I've seen since we've been down this journey in Indian movies.
High praise indeed, Stephen.
It is balls to the wall action. It's a cat and mouse game, and there's a twist and turn nearly every 10 minutes in it.
Sounds right up my street.
It will keep you intrigued right to the end, and it's a fantastically made movie as well. But that's not my review. We'll save that for another day. So, John, what's your take on this? This is exciting news, isn't it?
Stephen, I like Vijay. I think I keep saying it, very presence heavy. Is that the correct word? I
would
think
say
it is.
so, yeah.
He's got lots of presence. He's an impactful guy. When he's on the screen, you're drawn to him. So, I've seen lots of reactions or trailers I've reacted to with this guy, and he's pretty consistent looking in his performance. Vikram Vedha, I've not seen yet. You have. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It looks very impactful in that movie as well. Clear lead, alongside Ahmad Haven.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see this guy's getting lots of work, man, and he's clearly never going to be short of work because he's a big name in Tamil cinema.
Yeah.
And looking forward to, much like Telepathy, getting back and celebrating and exploring this guy's work, and then moving forward with everyone else and enjoying his work. Just like when I discovered Boon Jong Ho, or whatever, I always screw his name up.
Yeah.
I think it's Boon Jong Ho, maybe Bong Joon Ho. I'm not sure. I'll say both just to make sure I'm right. When I explored his work after seeing Parasite, it's a journey I enjoy going on, and I discover new auteurs, new artistic figures. I go back and explore their work, I enjoy it, and then I move forward. I'll do that first, and then I'll move forward and see what 46 has in store. But Steve, man, he's gold, this guy, from what I've seen. So I have no doubt in my mind it'll be hugely, I should say, successful, come what may. But yeah.
Yeah, John, I was actually just checking out Sun Pictures' tweet there without the sound on my own screen here, just to see what it's about. And I noticed the director Ponram has tweeted it as well, and he has said, "I'm so happy to share this great moment thanks to Sun Pictures and Vijay Sethu off L." Must be official. He's a Twitter handle, so it's all looking good, John. This 12 hours old. That's how fresh news is. That's the beauty of doing live shows as well, isn't it?
No longer recording, pre-recording. 2 shows a week.
Yeah.
Miles out of date.
Yeah. We would record on a Sunday for a Tuesday show.
Horrendous.
And it'd be stuff that everyone else has talked about to death.
And then we'd record Star Wars content a week late because it had to be done on a Friday.
Yeah, it's all learning, isn't it?
It was learning, Stephen. We learnt, and we're now hopefully beyond that point and don't ever have to get back. It's live now forever. I enjoy live content.
Yeah,
you're on edge.
Interactive.
Live and interactive. Not so interactive tonight.
No.
Not much comments happening tonight. That's absolutely fine though. We're not
That's okay.
We can live with it.
Yeah.
But Steve, that's going to round it up. What is your thoughts on the topics we touched upon? What do you make about the potential sequel to Justice League? The Snyder's version, that is, not that bastardised, horrific version from Joss Whedon. Do you think it's something that could happen with the likes of Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller? Certainly not Ray Fisher. Or do you think that's pie in the sky? What do you want to see it as well? Do you agree with Deborah Snyder? It's not the time to speak about it. What do you make about the Snyder Cut documentary? What do you think about Mena Massoud potentially being cast as Ezra Bridger in a potential Star Wars project? What do you make about The Grey Man as well, finally starting production? And finally, Vijay Sethupathi announcing a new project with hopefully a super hit in Tamil cinema. If you've got anything to say at all, you can comment down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the follow button on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future, and you will get it, guys. But look, done. Bye. That was a little bit abrupt, but bye-bye, guys. That's better.